Hey YouTube, welcome back to Universe X, and got another video. Releases are happening back to 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 back, and so today we'll be talking about the secret rares for Vicious Rejuvenation. So as always, gonna put it out there. If you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We've got a Discord that's kind of growing. Get some testing done on there. Do a lot of stuff, you know. Talk, share memes, all the janks. And then on top of that, also the Facebook group. You know, if you haven't joined yet, think about hitting that up. It's in the description. Biggest forum for our card game. So with all that out of the way, only things I'll have to say is once again, I'm going to be plugging my man Spiral Maui Graphix, fellow Chris Ranger. I'm going to be plugging his contest because he's giving away some pretty cool stuff. And if you look at that contest and you like his metal leaders, stay tuned to the channel because sooner than later we're going to be having a giveaway of our own that's going to be a collaboration with the man himself. So that'll be in the description. And now, let's get to talking about these secret rares. There's three of them: blue, green, and black. And we're going to start off with the blue one himself. So it's on the screen now. We've got Super Pycoon. Super Pycoon, or if you're a cultured individual, Super Pycon. Might Manifested. Now this is Pycon from Dragon Ball Heroes. This is a little different look than his normal look. But of course he's got ultimate being a SCR, he's got double strike, he's got dual attack. He's an 8 cost. Of course the attack has to be what it is. And he's got a auto. When this card attacks and your opponent reveals their hand, you choose one card from their hand with an energy cost of 7 or less. Place it at the bottom of the owner's deck, and then your opponent draws one card. Now, activate battle for blue. If your leader card is blue and all of your energy is mono blue and your opponent has 4 or more energy, play this card from your hand. If you do, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and return them to the owner's hands. Okay, cool. So there's a couple things about this. One, why Pycon? Alright, secret rares need to move. Why Pycon? I know there's been some questionable things in the past. You know, we've gotten Great Ape, you know, Bardox and stuff like that. And it's kind of weird. But Pycon though, on an SCR though, like this could have been God Trunks. This could have been some sort of Gogeta. This could have been a whole slew of cards. But instead, it's Pycon. Alright, so let's move past that, because that's not the most important part about this card. Double strike and dual attack on a 4K body is nothing to scoff at. On a 40K body, this guy can close game by himself with 2 swings. That's pretty cool. Now, the other thing though, is this guy is crazy because he gives the utmost amount of information. Alright, every time you swing with him, which will be twice a turn, you can look at your opponent's hand, select a card 7 or less. So basically, a lot of cards in the game, except the very top end, they're secret rares. Sometimes EX Evolves can get up that high, and you're gonna put it underneath the leader, or underneath the deck, and then they draw one. So it's kind of weird. It's darn near perfect in terms of information, because what's gonna happen is you're going to swing with him, right? And you're going to potentially give them, they're potentially going to be, I mean, and actually, let me just put this here as well. He doesn't have to swing towards a leader, because sometimes you can change up what cards they get. I mean, if let's say you swing at a leader and then a battle card, right? You're going to be swinging at the leader, seeing their card, taking what you feel to be the best one, putting it underneath the deck. They're going to draw one. Then you swing at a battle card and you get to see their hand again, bottom deck, and they draw one. So there's only going to be one card in that hand that you aren't privy to, unless, you know, they draw a card in their combo step. So that's pretty neato. However, it is kind of weird because he has a lot of keyword text: ultimate, double strike, dual attack, but what he does not have is barrier nor deflect, meaning this is just another card that can get God Sealing Trunks off the field, and in that case he is darn near unplayable versus fellow blue decks. There's just no way this guy's landing. And it's kind of interesting because he's at a 4 cost, and in all reality, blue already pins the market on powerful 4-drops. Whether you're running Muscle Milk Dude, whether you're running a Looney, whether you're running the new Go Tanks, I mean, this deck has no shortage of good 4-drops, and I'm not sure if this guy can contend with it. Not saying you have to play him on turn 4. You can easily play him on maybe turn 5, turn 6. But he contends with Baby Hatch. And Baby Hatch has the ability to literally give you another turn. This guy in no way, shape, or form guarantees any of that. So, all in all, I have to say that while I like this card, it being a secret rare may be one of the things that hurts the most, because I can't see a position where I don't play Baby Hatch to play this guy instead. He's very, very vulnerable, and he doesn't necessarily close out game, and he even replaces the cards that he puts to the bottom of their deck. So that kind of hurts me. The other last thing I like to put down, I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but his other effect. If your opponent has a good board state and they aren't made up of tokens like Booney tokens, just him coming to the board is going to generally give your opponent the cards necessary to combo out of at least one of his swings. So, yes and no. I really do like this card to a degree, but I feel like just in this current format, there's a lot of stuff that touches him that is going to invalidate him, and it just doesn't do enough. And again, it gives your opponent a cushion to take his attack depending on when you play it, so that's kind of rough. So we're gonna hit the next one. Next one is gonna be Majin Buu, Incarnation of Demonic Evil. Now, since I guess I did the lore for the other one to a degree, because that one's super Paiku on, this one is actually, when I was speaking on what I thought the villains will be in the set, I didn't mention Janemba. I wasn't sure if they were going to put Janemba's Dark Dragon Ball in the set. And that's because if you follow Heroes, or you want to read up about it on the wiki, Majin Buu just kind of comes up and absorbs Janemba. And so Janemba kind of has a status of one of the like Xeno transformation people, but then he just like gets eaten, and then you get Janembu. So looking at this, you have a Janembu card now, and I guess now they're just kind of diving into that lore. So I mean, he looks pretty cool. He looks pretty ferocious. Now let's look at him. Ultimate Double Strike. He's a counter, and we've never seen a counter on a freaking SCR. If a card other than your leader's card is in battle, negate the counterattack skill, then play this card. Permanent, if your leader card is mono green or a black Demon Realm race card, then you're activating this card's counter skill. Reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 7. If your leader card is a black Demon Realm race card, treat this card in your hand as if it had no specified cost. Okay. So what we got going on here, he's a counter, he's a 40k, he's double strike. So there are times where you'll be going for game and your opponent goes, no. And you tap your 3 energy and you play this guy, and now they have to deal with another double strike that starts at 40k. In that regard, he feels a lot like the baby ape, because he's going to stop something that was going to stop you, and then he's going to, if you have to combo out of the initial swing because your negate got negated, and then you're gonna have to follow up with this guy even if you do survive, and chances are if they're doing that, this is probably game on that swing. So I like that. It's cool that he's a 10 drop in hand, so he dodges a lot of things in terms of like, oh, like even the other secret rare can't touch the secret rare. So he dodges a lot of stuff like that, but he goes down to a 3 drop. Now 3 can be a little hefty. It's gonna be weird for black to hit 3 unless you're running a slower like Toa-esque control variant. Green, you could probably hit it, but the cool thing about this though is that it is also subject to, because it's a evil incarnate, it's also subject to a couple cards like a combo attack Janemba. You could theoretically, if you so chose, counter, play this guy, get his swings out, and then just burst 2 and bounce it back to your hand. He is one of the newer secret rares that doesn't have that clause about needing to get yeeted out of the game the moment he's removed from the field, which is very weird. So you can really play him in any green deck, and that's awesome, or you can play him in the Toa deck. And there might be 1 or 2 more leaders you can play him with, but the new Toa deck is probably going to be where it shines. If that deck is capable of having anything shine, TBH. So I'm actually really enjoying that. The art is absolutely fire. Having a counter in green right now may not be dangerous, but could be very dangerous later. And I mean, this is kind of funny. Like, lots of green decks would not play this over Xeno Cell, so I'll agree with that. But something like a Toa deck probably would, because you can't really make it like that, not as easily. So it's like it's an interesting card. It's just, it is so hard to play a card that's not Xenocell if you have access to it in a yellow or green deck. Now, there are going to be some decks that, like, you know, have to, like, look at Turles. Because of its effect and the things going to warp, it can't play Xenocell because successor needs them to go to the drop zone. So cards like this will be one of the secret rares that you can play in Turles if you so choose. Other than that, maybe the grade 8, but yeah, that's pretty cool. And now we're gonna get to the last one. The last one is actually very, 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 very thick. I meant to say cool, but very thick. We've got Supreme Kai of Time, Space Time Unraveler. If you play Dokkan, you already knew the hype when this card came out. That art is chef's kiss, top notch. So basically this is Corona grown up in Heroes. She is no longer a little tiny kid looking, no, this is a goddess, and this is pretty wild. So here it out. Ultimate permanent, if this card be removed from your battle area, remove it from the game instead. Yep. Now you got activate main 1. Choose this card and all of your opponent's battle cards and unison cards and send them to their owner's warps. This is a solid wrath. Do not get it twisted. 2, activate battle. It's gonna be a 1. Now if you have 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand, and if you do, your opponent can't attack with leader cards, unison cards this turn. So it's kind of weird. It's not Baby Hatch, but in some applications it feels a little bit protecting, you know? Like you could play things like this card out on your opponent's turn, and I mean in certain decks like, you know, Zamasu from set 10, or just, you know, decks that press their unison, like against green. Actually, against green, this could potentially be really good because you have leaders like Majin Vegeta swinging for double strike, and you have unisons like the 3-drop Dark Broly unison also swinging for double strike, and this card will be like, no, battle cards only. And combined with something like Protector of the Peace, this can shut out an opponent's turn because they can't force through those two attacks to their unison and their leader under Protector of the People. So this is actually really cool, and the Wrath effect is wild. Now, there are some downsides to this. One, it also doesn't have Deflect. So yes, it can get God Sealing easily. So that makes it playing against blue very, very hard. That makes it playing against a lot of different things very, very hard. Now, when you play it on your turn, there's some cool things you can do. Like, it's too fat for charismatic to hit for green. So if you play it on your turn versus green, chances are it's going to be safe. You play it on your turn versus red, it will be safe. And chances are you play it on red's turn, it will be safe. Now, you can't really play it like against blue. It's scary because, again, God Sealing is real, but if you bait out their God Sealing and play this, that's their butt. But if you play this and they get God Sealing, you might be able to land another play like over them or something that they really didn't want sticking, like a Demigod. So there's some interesting plays you can do with this, but this is a hard board wipe, and it sends them to the warp. So that's even crazier. Like, you imagine playing this against Dark Broly in the mirror and just whoop, anything like that. Like, this is a monstrous card. And I'm looking forward to getting her. I really, really want to pull her to play in my Dark Broly deck, I'm not even gonna lie. Having a better defense sounds really cool, and being able to just blow up the field and then keep swinging is also very cool because unisons be the bane of people's existence. So that being said, even though I talked about it the least, I love Supreme Kai of Time, Space Time Unraveler the most. 1, she's fine. 2, it's splashable in every deck, and that makes it so that it may be the most expensive out of the bunch coming out by far, but we will see. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments which one you like the most. Let me know if you have any ideas about it. This is just my preliminary look, but best believe going forward things are going to be incorporating this for sure. So thank you guys for the support. I will see you next time inside of Jump Inside Universe X. Peace.